Welcome back to my channel, Shareline Finance, where we talk about faith, wisdom, and finance because it was never meant to be separated. Guys, last week we spoke about budgeting, but not just regular budgeting. Budgeting God's way and budgeting also align to your values and your goals so that it would mean something to you. Budgeting that doesn't feel restrictive or a punishment. This week we want to talk about that. That is a big one. That is a big one. It's like habits, it's a big one. But before we go into that, let's go into wisdom. So today we want to talk about our Proverbs moment. And our Proverbs moment comes from Proverbs 22:7. It says, "The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." I'm sure a lot of you have heard that scripture, slave to the lender. Yes, that is our reality if we are in debt right now. We become slaves to the lender. Every phone call, every interest rate, every payment reminds us that somebody is taking a piece of our freedom. But slaves can be set free. Let me ask you a question. How much of your paycheck is already spent before you even get it? On car loans, on credit cards, on student loans, on medical bills, before you even get it. That is how debt is designed, to remind us. It has us on a treadmill that keeps running and never stops. Debt is designed to keep us stuck, to keep us running, to keep us paying. And that is what the banks and they like. They love that you are in debt, and they love you paying interest rate and paying minimums, meaning that they live off of your interest. They buy their yachts, they become millionaires, they live out of your interest. And guys, you cannot come out of that by asking for more money. More money doesn't solve the problem. It's a system. System solves the problem. Putting systems in place. Becoming disciplined. Remember, we became aware. First step of transformation. Then we had to have intentions about writing down our plans and our goals and establishing our habits. Now we have to become disciplined, and we have to be mad enough to want change. Mad enough to want change for our lives in 2026. That we no longer want to be in debt, that by the ending of this year we want to be debt free or on our way to becoming debt free. So I want to give you 5 steps today to do this. Step number 1, we have to face it. Remember the avoidance personality? Well, avoiding doesn't make things better. It only magnifies things. We need to face it. Face every debt. Write down every debt. Every person you owe, how much you owe, what are the minimum payments, what are the interest rates. Face your numbers. That's step number 1. Step number 2, we need to stop the bleeding. This is a very, very, very critical and important part. Stop the bleeding. No more new debt, whether it's 0% for 12 months, whether it's $50 a month, and it looks like it's easy to do. We need to stop the bleeding. So we are not creating any new debt. Number 3, and this is what will help. Number 2, establishing an emergency fund. At least $500 to $1,000 on an emergency fund. It's really supposed to be 3 to 6 months living expenses in an emergency fund. But to get there, we want to start small, especially if you are in debt right now. So we want to establish at least $1,000 in an emergency fund. Studies show that the average American don't even have $1,000 if an emergency comes up. And this is what creates us going into fresh debt. Because if we do not establish an emergency fund and an emergency comes up, we borrow again. And the bleeding continues. So in order to establish and to be successful in step number 2, we need step number 3 to really, really be implemented in our lives. Step number 4, we want to attack with the debt snowball. Meaning, if we have 3 debts, one $1,000, one $500, one $300. We attack with the smallest first. We do not study interest rate at this time. We want to get small wins. We want to establish a system. So we attack with $300. We pay the biggest amount on the $300 and minimum payments on the other two. When we clear that $300, oh, we're not free right now. No. We take that same money, that money is not freedom money now, and we put it on bill number 2. $500 plus your $300 payment is added. So what you were paying on the 5 plus the 300 is now added to that payment. And we do that for the next bill until we are debt free. Who the Son of Man is sets free is free indeed. We are no longer slaves. We are sons of God. We are lenders and not borrowers, and we have to take back what the devil has stolen from us. But it belongs in our hands. We can't be praying to God and asking him, I want $1 million, but we're not doing the small steps. God is not going to give you $1 million if you are not faithful with $100. Do you think God is going to give you $1 million? He said, if you're faithful over little, I will make you ruler over much. So guys, we need to establish a system. Start small. Attack your debt snowball. And step number 5 is stay intense. That is where most people fall. They start strong, then they get tired. They start making excuses. I deserve this, I deserve that. No, every tax return, every birthday gift, everything that is coming in from side hustles belongs to paying off your debt. Live like nobody else today, so that you will live like nobody else tomorrow. So we need to do these things, guys. I want you to close your eyes for a minute and envision yourself in 2027. New Year's now, you want to make new resolutions. But you can afford to, because guess what? Your bank account belongs to you. Your paycheck belongs to you. When you look at your bank account, everything in there is yours to make your own decisions with, not the bank making the decisions for you. You have no credit card debt. You have no car loans. You have no loans. And you can make your own decisions. How does that feel? You can now start investing. And that is what we want to do next week. But before we do that, here's your doable step for today. Face your numbers. Write down everything you are owing. And start putting the system in place. It works. It really, really works. If you work it. If you work it, it works. Stop praying for God to bring something to you when he has already brought it to you. And you need to be intentional about putting it into place. It works. If you work it. If you are disciplined enough and intentional enough to work your plan will work. Study to show yourself approved. Write your vision, make it plain, and make the steps to do it. That's your doable step for today. See you next week where we talk about savings and building wealth, because you've already learned how to get yourself out of debt. This is your girl and singer, Coach and Singer. And I want to tell you guys, please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, so you'll get this content over and over and over. Love you guys. Have a good one. Shalom.